Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Ruthanne Goff. I'm the VP of Business and Finance for the Student Government Association, and this is the Funding 101 presentation that I would like all treasurers to at least take a look at. This is just a huge resource for student organizations if they're looking to receive funding from SGA. This talks about what you can and can't receive funds for and how to go about that process. Alright, just first things first, where you can find me. SGA's office is the third floor of Campus Center in the Student Activity Center, and I have office hours Monday and Friday. I'm there from 1 to about 3:30, and Tuesday, Thursday I'm there from 10:30 to noon, and then 1 to 2, so I'm there a little bit longer Tuesday, Thursdays. And if you can't reach me there, you can email me at sgabusiness@ithaca.edu. Some important changes to mention: our budget committee meetings are no longer on Wednesday nights. They are now Thursday nights at 8:15, 6 Mile Creek meeting room, so same room as last year. And rather than having the deadline for proposals be Monday at 6 p.m., they are now Tuesday at 6 p.m. That week of the budget committee. Just some key responsibilities that I want organizations to be aware of. I'd really like to stress that organizations can really use SGA and OCEMA as resources. We're here to make sure that you guys are able to conduct business, and we'd really like to maintain communication between our offices and the students. Something that I know that we're really trying to get students to work on this year is just really be aware of your accounts. That's not something that myself or Esther Van Gorder monitor on a regular basis, and so as treasurer, you need to be aware that you have money in your account or you don't have money and where that money is going. With budget proposals, I ask that they be thorough and current. Really, there's no reason to skip on details. If you feel it's minute, go ahead and put it on there. It just saves some confusion for later. And then with regards to other resources that are available to you, the allocation handbook is currently up to date, and that can be found on the SGA website on the business finance page under budget resource documents. And this is just something that's just a huge tool for organizations to use. It really does a great job of lining everything out. There are 3 different kinds of proposals that organizations can submit. The first is operational, and these are granted on a semester basis. So once you submit one operational proposal, that's for the remainder of the semester. We do have a second semester budget process, which is specifically for operational proposals or programming proposals within the first couple of weeks, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. Programming and fundraising proposals, it's easier if only one of these is proposed per meeting. You can propose a programming proposal in conjunction with an operational proposal, but we ask that only one programming be submitted a meeting, and obviously there are some extenuating circumstances, but those have to be cleared by me first. The last of the 3 is a travel proposal. And something that organizations need to be aware of is that there is a $3,000 cap on travel per year per organization. So organizations who are planning on having traveling events need to be aware that that cap is applied for the entire year and not on a semester basis. First steps in the budget process. An organization has to be a registered student organization through OCEMA on IC-Link. So first things first, make sure that you are a registered student organization. There are 2 forms that need to be completed and sent to me through email. The first is the funding request form, which just outlines information about your organization, just brief information about the event or proposal. The second is the appropriate spreadsheet, and this outlines the monetary part of the proposal, an itemized breakdown of what you're planning on spending money for, things like that. And then lastly, what I need from organizations is I need an advisor's approval, which is simply you can have them send an email to me at sga@ithaca.edu or sgabusiness@ithaca.edu. And this is really important because while we don't want the advisors to make the entire proposal, we do want to make sure that they're overseeing that things are appropriate and within the means of the organization. And all of those items have to be in by Tuesday at 6 p.m. Completing a budget proposal, like I said earlier, be as detailed as possible. This will help things run very smoothly. The spreadsheet will round to the nearest dollar. We don't allocate in cents, so just make sure that the spreadsheets are taking care of that. And also, if you have a lot of cells that you're not using, go ahead and delete them or hide them, and that'll just help the proposal look cleaner and help us make sure we don't miss anything. Again, complete any sections that need to be completed. Email all proposals. We do not do paper copies anymore, so any proposals and funding request forms, advisors' approval, just send those to sgabusiness@ithaca.edu. And with programming and fundraising, we ask that you submit those 3 weeks prior to the event, because this allows enough planning time for the organization in case anything comes up, and it can guarantee that you get your funds in time. So pretty much what happens after that is, once I receive everything from an organization, I send them an email with their meeting time with the budget committee. They will come to the meeting on Thursday. They will introduce themselves and then present their budget. And after they're done presenting, the committee will ask them any questions that they might have. And then after that, basically, the committee will deliberate, and then the following day I will send you an allocation email. Potential questions that people might receive from the committee, any past or present fundraising activities that the organization is planning on doing, how they feel the event will benefit their organization and the campus as a whole, if this event has been held previously in prior years, what was the average attendance then, if you're expecting to have that now, just things like that. These are potential questions that you might see. In cases where there isn't enough information on a proposal, the committee feels like they need more information before they can allocate fairly, they may ask that an organization come back with more information regarding that, and this would be reviewed as a regular proposal. This is the only time that a proposal will be reviewed twice, is if the committee specifically asks organizations to come back. Other than that, if an organization has an issue with what they've been allocated, they can file for appeal, which I believe is the next slide. So like I said, if they feel they were allocated unjustly, they need to send an email to the SGA president no later than 3 days after the allocation email. And then what will happen is they will present to the Senate, and the Senate will vote on their appeal. Financial statements are sent out with every allocation email, so every email has the spreadsheet with any reasoning the committee might have, rationale, stipulations, that sort of thing, and then a financial statement will be included with that. And these need to be filled out for every proposal. Operational, it's 30 days after the end of the semester. Programming is 30 days after the event. Fundraising, 4 days after the event. And travel is 30 days after an organization returns. And these just help us keep record of what organizations are spending their money on and making sure that they are spending their money the way that they were allocated. And so, like I said, these are included with every email. And if for some reason the email gets lost, there are blank copies available on the website as well. And all these documents, I probably should have said that earlier, spreadsheets, funding request forms, financial statements are all available on the SGA website under the Business Finance tab under Student Budget Resources or Forms. With fundraising, all allocated funds must be returned to SGA. So an example that I use is if an organization is allocated $200 for a fundraising event, $200 must come back to SGA, but anything in excess of the $200 an organization gets to keep within the organization. So this is something that's really important for organizations to be aware that fundraisers are not, I don't want to say outrageous, but to the point to where an organization is not able to pay those funds back. So keep in mind that that is the fundraising policy. And there's also a fundraising financial statement included in each allocation email. With regards to food purchases, there is a standardized price list and prices and locations list on the website. This is just to kind of give organizations an idea of where the best prices are, how much they, make sure they're not overspending, things like that. And also, SGA has to adhere to the Alternatives to Catering policy that is on CES's website. And we will not violate these policies, so it's important that organizations are aware of those as well. And then for operational purposes, something that we keep like to stress to organizations that we do fund food for meetings, but it's up to 4 meetings a semester. And there are extenuating circumstances where if an organization revolves solely around food, things of that nature, it is up to the committee to allocate funds as they see fit. Examples for fundable items: shirt purchases we do fund, but only on a fundraising basis. So if an organization wants to sell shirts to raise money, that's fine. Otherwise, we do not fund T-shirts if they're for an individual basis for organization members. And then things like tabling materials, office supplies, decoration, those are all examples of things that we do fund. Specific things that we do not fund for operational and programming: we do not fund memberships, exclusive events. So if something is only for the organization or just for a certain number or certain members of the organizations, we do try to exclude those, because we want to make sure that events or programs are including everybody, and also trying to incorporate the Ithaca College campus as well. Like I said, no individual shirt purchases. We do not fund alcohol, prizes, and gifts. And the difference between prizes and gifts is, if you have a program and you just want to give things away, we consider that a prize. But a gift might be if a speaker is coming and they say they'll do it for free, and as an organization you want to give them $200 for their time, we consider that a gift. And then equipment, retreats, and digitally produced and copied media, so things like CDs and that nature. For travel, there is an equation that we have that helps organizations figure out gas purchases, and it's very simple. It's how far you're traveling times the current average New York price, or whatever state you're going to, divided by 25 miles per gallon, which is a pretty fair average for mileage. And then also airfare and hotel are other things that we fund with travel. Things we do not fund with travel are food purchases, registration fees. We only pay for member travel, so if an advisor wants to go, they have to come up with that money themselves, and parking and tolls. Just some general policies. SGA does not fund retroactively, so if you've already bought something, we cannot give you funds to take care of that. Any contracts that need to be signed by an organization for a performer or whatever have to be brought to the attention of Teresa Radley, who's the assistant director of OSEMA. If an organization doesn't do this, this is a violation of SGA policy and Ithaca College policy. And then something else that's not really a policy, but something that we highly encourage, is for organizations to go in co-sponsorship on events with each other. This is just a great way to kind of get organizations on the campus to work together. And then, the end of the PowerPoint is just some examples of what a funding request form might look like in a programming spreadsheet, and all of these are available on the SGA website in the allocation handbook. So, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at sgabusiness@ithaca.edu, and I'd be happy to work with you. Thank you.